How far did you get with your education?
I dropped out. I was really good in school until, my life took a different course, but I dropped out officially, I think, the beginning of my sophomore year. But I went to school all 4 years, but, not for the right reasons. Just hang out with my friends.
What was your reason for dropping out?
I think I just kind of gave up on it. I knew I was smart enough to go about life, and I think I have a problem with authority, and I wasn't picking it up, what they were putting down when it came to, routine and homework and shit like that.
What was your parents' reaction to this?
They were not fucking with it. Yeah, my mom wasn't happy. It was my mom and my stepdad, but they weren't happy. They pictured something else for me, and I didn't really care much.
How'd you tell them? Or how were they notified about this?
I was pretty sneaky about it at first. Not like I was, lying to them. I was just, getting ready and still going to school, or, I would leave about during my day and hours that were school hours. So they were just assuming that I was, but then schools, they, reach out to your parents and shit. They kind of tell them. That's pretty much. And my report cards and stuff, there was a lot of, incomplete, not showing up. So I gave it away.
So they confront you at some point about it?
Yeah, my mom confronted me about anything, any time of the day.
And then what is your response? I'm never going back? Is it that type of thing?
No, because a part of me really wanted to be there because I had friends there and, business. I was making money and being social. That was, my social life. Outside of, when you're the end of the school day, when you go and do your, whatever you do. But that was giving me something to do during the day. So I was like, I think I told them, no, I'm going to go to my class, and then I just didn't.
Was there ever a thought on a GED?
Yeah, that was a big thing for a while. My mom, one of the times when I was kicked out, she was like, oh, you can't come back until you have some type of official high school thing. And I got sent to my cousin's house at one point in, the woods. And I think I completed, the first half of a high school equivalency test. But they were happy enough with that, and I think I kind of rode that out, and I never completed the rest of it. I just used that, oh, but I did that. So I never went back and finished it.
Even though you never did, is that something that you want to?
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. Why not?
Now, looking back on your decision-making here and how things played out in your life, was dropping out the right decision? Or do you wish you would have finished high school or even gotten that completion of the equivalency test all the way through?
At that period of time, I think even if I did finish high school, I would probably still end up where I am now. It took a while for, this life to be birthed, so, I don't think it really would have made a difference. But, yeah. I always think about, if I went to college, just that sounds fun to me, that, American life.
And what did this entire experience teach you?
I was probably one of the easiest lessons I've had to learn. But it taught me that you can pretty much lie your way through anything, because all the jobs that I said I had graduated, and I said I was in college, and no one ever really looked into it. So I was able to do anything a person with a diploma could do it taught me that America scams a lot. You can do that here.
Now, I want to, even though we know what ended up happening, you drop out, I want to take things back a little bit and kind of get a little bit more of the history of your education before you even make that decision there. What schools did you attend growing up?
In middle school, I attended a school called Northwest. No, elementary, Northwest Elementary, Parkside Middle School. But after my freshman year of high school, I was doing so bad. They sent me. I went to a bunch of different programs like juvenile facilities and group homes, placements. That's what they're called. So I had to be transferred a lot to different school programs. Some of them were like actual high schools, and some of them were just online programs. So I went to like 5 or 6 different high schools. So.
And what was the name of the high school where when you would eventually
Predominantly, West High School, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Was that the one that you dropped out of?
That's the one where I got like my last official credits from.
And then these schools that you attended that you just named, whether it was elementary, middle, high school, these were all public schools or private?
They tried to send me to a private school in my 6th grade year because they thought it was gonna like turn my life around. But it was a Catholic school, and those places are normally really fucked up. So it didn't work out. I actually did only 1 year, and then I got expelled.
And what'd you get expelled for?
Someone had vandalized the park. They broke into, because it was in a bad area. So, I mean, this could have happened any day. But just because I spent most of my days in the principal, who was a nun, sister, her office, debating their philosophies and shit like that, someone had broken in one night and vandalized the park and put like a bunch of upside down cross. And it was like me and like 2 other kids, but they were like, we think it was you guys. We want you gone. So I got expelled. It wasn't me. It was not me. I wasn't wasting my time breaking into schools. Fucking, I wasn't even like on that shit. I just asked them questions they didn't want to answer, so they wanted to get rid of me.
There was no proof of this, though?
No, absolutely not.
It was just an assumption on their part?
Yeah. More like a biased thing, like they had already wanted me to leave, so it was like the perfect excuse.
Did your parents try to fight this?
No. I mean, my grandfather was more the one that was overseeing that because he is a Catholic, and he was the one who kind of really wanted me to take on that lifestyle. But my mother, she hardly cared. I mean, she was doing her own things in life. She wasn't like a religious woman, so.
Do you follow religion?
Not really. I don't find anything, I think it's cool. I've been to several different churches. Like, I've been to ones that are really great energy, and then I went to that school where every Tuesday during school hours you have to go and get ashes on your, whatever, I don't want to get that wrong. Whichever day they do ash day, So, like, I've seen different sides of it. Some are really positive, and some are, not. It's just not my thing.
You were raised, though, to be Catholic?
No, my grandfather is Catholic, and he wasn't in my day-to-day life, but that was, like, the religion of my family. Like, if you had to say what religion my family was, it would have been Catholic, just because my grandfather was rocking that shit really heavily.
I see.
Hey, T, can you do me a favor and stop moving, because I can hear your pants?
Now, what kind of kid were you in class, overall speaking?
I was definitely social. I think I was probably one of the funnier kids in class.
A class clown, or you wouldn't go as far as to say that?
No, I wasn't like a class clown, but I was probably the source of like a lot of, you know, if one group of kids was goofing off, like I was definitely there. Like I said, I wasn't there for like education purposes. I was there to hang out.
Were you part of a certain crowd?
I would hang out with a certain crowd, like outside of school. Like I would hang out with one group of people, but I was pretty blended throughout the whole school. Like everyone knew me. I got along with pretty much everybody.
Did anyone attend your school end up becoming well-known or famous themselves?
In the past, yeah. I don't think, I'm not sure if it was my high school or a school in the city, but I know Adam Sandler was from the city that I grew up in, so that was like, I think the biggest thing. There was one kid though, he was really a friend of mine, and in my like same age. He's not famous yet, but he's producing. He's signed to like 808 and Southside and them. So when people think of successful music people in my city, I think they probably think of me and him.
Care to share his stage name?
Project X. Fire. Go check him out.
And when you were talking about Adam Sandler, what city were you referencing here?
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Ever met Adam Sandler?
No. I would love to, though.
Just curious. Now, what about music? Did you take a music class in school?
Yeah, I was in elementary and like, you know, middle school. I was always in chorus. I always had the solos for concerts and shit like that.
What vocal position?
I was just a singer. So, like, you know, when you're in school and you have to go to, like, those recitals and concerts and there's someone who has a solo, that was me.
Would you go as far as doing any sort of competitions when it came to the music class? Would it go further than just being a music class? Would there be regional, state, national competitions with it or no?
No, I didn't take it there. Some people did in my class, just not me.
You stopped chorus at some point?
Yeah, I stopped chorus before I went, like, into high school. My freshman year, they wanted me to because, yeah, they wanted to recruit me, but I was like, nah, it's lame. And I didn't.
Any regrets on that decision making, or was that the right decision, looking back?
I don't regret that at all.
Did being in these chorus classes help you with being a recording artist at all?
Yeah, I think so.
In what ways?
You know, like, it kind of taught me what harmonies were, taught me range and things like that. It taught me more confidence, probably, which is probably the most important thing I got from that, because I was more of a shy kid when I was young. Not super shy, but it took a lot for me to stand in front of all my peers and their parents and belt out, you know, a big song. But that kind of, I feel like, molded me to be more confident.
And these solos that you would do at these recitals, is there video footage of this stuff?
Probably, but not from my family. My mother wasn't the type of person to do stuff like that. She probably hardly showed up to them, so.
But there may be video of you somewhere on someone else's.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Now, just curious, could you have gotten to where you're at musically at this point without those chorus classes?
Oh, yeah. It's always been in me. Like, music, it's always been such a big part of my life. Yeah, I think I would have definitely ended up where I am now, regardless.
Were you recording at all
No.
while you were in grade school?
Nope. I've only been recording music for like 2 years.
Did you participate in talent shows at all growing up?
I wanted to, but I didn't.
What kept you from it?
Because by the time talent shows were like a thing, it was in high school. And I was already a bad kid, and that's just not what I would have done at that point in my life.
Did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah. I played basketball when I was younger. And then when I went to one of the like child facilities that I was at, I took up boxing for like a therapy reason. I liked that for a while.
When it came to these sports, did any of these run in your family at all?
No. I mean, my family liked to watch football, but nobody was really active.
Why did basketball stop at some point?
I honestly really don't know. A lot of it, I remember the big problem was like my mother like wouldn't want to, you know how kids have to like pay to like get onto things, and you know they have like a required shoe that they need, and my mom wasn't doing all that, so it became more of a hassle than an activity, so I just stopped.
Was it a financial issue at the time?
Yeah, I mean, she made it seem that way, so not much of the money was being put to like what I wanted to do.
Now, you did both of these sports for a certain period of time. Looking back, though, which one was your favorite? Basketball or boxing?
I would have really liked to carry basketball throughout like my life. I feel like the whole, you know, team part of it, I really like everything about like basketball, and really having that family and having a coach that, you know, is like a mentor. I feel like I really could have used that in my younger years, especially like high school, but yeah.
Which were you better at, though? Were you
Probably-
better at basketball or boxing?
Probably boxing.
And back then, when you did play basketball, what led you to basketball initially?
I've always been a tomboy. You know, I've just always took interest in things like that, sports, dirt bikes, four-wheelers. I was into shit like that, not girly stuff.
Do you remember what position you played back then when it was basketball?
Small forward and point guard.
And did you have a jersey number back then as well?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was.